Good morning, TDA! I've got a ukulele lesson for you today. We worked on ukulele together. Most students did with me. And so we're going to kind of keep the ball rolling with that. I think we know some basic chords already, but I think that some of the ones I'm going to introduce today, we haven't played together. You might know them on your own, but I don't think we have worked on them together. So, to start off, I'm going to show you a D chord. Now, a quick reminder, when we're looking at the ukulele, it has 4 strings. And if you listen as I play across the strings, something weird happens that is different for a ukulele than other stringed instruments, which is that this, which is a G, is not the lowest string. It's physically the lowest string, but on a ukulele, our second string, the C, is the lowest string. So we have, so that's different from a guitar, from a banjo, from a mandolin. Most string instruments go lower to high, and ukulele has that little hang up. Still, when I say lowest string, when we're talking about fretting, I'm going to be referring to this one. And when I say highest, I'll be referring to this one. So just a point of reference for you. Okay, we're going to learn a D chord. So a D chord is along the 2nd fret here. And we're going to use all 3 fingers to play notes. There's lots of different ways you can play a D where you do higher up stuff, but I think this is a good way to really get some good callus work, get our fingers kind of strong if we use all 3. So what I'm going to do is go along the 2nd fret here, and on my lowest string, place my pointer, then my middle, then my ring. It should look like that. See how that's all along the 2nd fret. I'm not moving up to the 1st or sliding down. All 3 are playing along the 2nd fret. And so that's a D. So what I'd like you to do, if you have your ukulele at home and you're playing along with me, is let's strum this for a bit. Let's just start with 4 beats. I'll count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, yeah. If you notice you start muffling or the sound kind of slides, reference your fingers, make sure you're still in the right position. See if we can double time that. Strumming wise. Really good. All right, a different strumming pattern. New pattern. Can you follow along? This one in my brain, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. So next I want to look at a chord that I think most of us are familiar with. I think we played it before in the past, and that's a G chord. I also like to think of this as the triangle chord because it kind of looks like a triangle if you were to connect where each finger is placed on the frets. So for this one, I'm going to go to my 2nd lowest string, which is actually the lowest sound, right? Put my pointer, and then take my ring finger, and I'm going to, actually, let's wait. Let's so you can really see on the video here. I'm going to take my middle finger and go to the highest string and press it on the 2nd fret, and then use my ring to come and kind of go in between those, but on the 3rd fret to make that triangle shape. And I think you can see how it looks like a little triangle. And that's our G. So what I want to do now is go between D and G, back and forth, and see if we can get some of that ease of movement between chords going. So let's start on G and just play G for a little while. Remind our hands what that feels like. All right, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. All right, let's give it a double time now. Different pattern. There we go. See if you can follow along with that strum pattern. sounds more like 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Awesome. All right, going between the two chords. Let's give our fingers a little rub. Ooh, sometimes it starts to hurt a little bit. Roll out that wrist. Don't forget, as you're playing and you're thinking, sometimes we really tense up our muscles, particularly along this shoulder and our elbow while we're playing. Don't forget to check in and make sure you're relaxed. I know it feels like you need to muscle it to make it happen, but it actually makes playing the instrument a lot harder. So check in with yourself. Take as many breaks as you need to rub out your fingers, roll out your wrist, or relax your shoulder a little bit. There's no problem with that. Okay, let's see if we can reset our D. Again, that's the 3 along the 2nd fret, starting at the lowest string here. And I'm going to count for 4, then we'll take a break for 4. During that break, you're going to move your fingers to G. Let's try that out. 1, 2, 3, starting with D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're moving to a G, and see if now you can go back to D, and 1, 2, back to G. Now we're heading back to D. Let's do this 2 more times. 2 more sets. Back to D, and last one on G. Awesome. So now what I want you to do is, if you had any kind of trouble with that, or if it was too fast, pause the video and do it at your speed. If you need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, do that. The other recommendation I would make, and this is one of the most valuable things I had an early guitar teacher show me, is forget strumming for a little bit. And when you're figuring out how your fingers move between chords, set them. Really feel it in a chord. Right now I'm feeling D. And once you think you have it, just slowly move to the next. And notice I'm not strumming. I'm just kind of going to move between these two to feel how my fingers need to transition. And I might even take note of which finger wants to fall first. For example, for me, I think my pointer drops first when I make a G. All 3 of mine kind of land at the same time on D. And you want to slowly speed it up so that you can get to a place where, without even thinking, you're moving between these 2 chords back and forth. So pause and give that exercise a try as well. Okay, now we're going to look at probably the hardest chord in this song. We've got 2 more chords to learn, and this is G minor. And it's kind of like G. If you aren't comfortable yet with playing G minor in the song, once we go through it, you can just hold G, and that'll be the extra challenge for you, is to get to a place where you can play that G minor along with the G. But fortunately for us, this song in particular that we're going to work on, it sounds just fine if you hold the G instead of playing the G minor. And particularly if we ever get a chance to play this song as a group, having a G and a G minor playing at the same time will just sound just fine. Okay, so for G minor, we're going to go back to our G chord, our triangle chord, right? And here's what happens. Really only one note is different, which is that this string up here needs to be played. But in order to do that, if I were to simply try to slide my middle finger up there to play that note, notice my pointer finger wants to slide too. It's not really good position, and it would be really hard on our wrist to play. So from the G, what I'm going to do is take my middle finger and replace it in the spot where the pointer was, and then take my pointer to play that top string. It looks like this. So again, our G was here. My middle finger is going to replace where the pointer is, and my pointer is going to go up to play that note. And the G minor sounds like this. Ooh, I love it. G, G minor. So I want to do that same exercise now, going between G and G minor, and see how that transition feels. Again, if you need to pause the video and go at your own speed, just do the same exercise, but at the speed that works for you until you can build up to a quicker level. Okay, so let's get that triangle shape on our G, and I'll count us in for 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 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 G. Now you're moving to G minor. Ooh, pretty. See, if you can head back to G. Going back to G minor. G. Heading back to G minor. Let's do 2 more sets. G. 1, 2, G minor. Last set, here we go. 1, 2, back to G minor. Awesome! Now you know 3 of the chords in our song. We have 1 more chord to learn, and it is an A. An A, I think, is probably the easiest chord we're going to play in the song, which is why I saved it for last. An A kind of looks like an F. We've played an F before when we played a song for a showcase in the past. I remember. And so I'm going to show you F first to remind you. What you're going to do, also rub out your fingers. I'll let that rest. F looks like this, where our middle finger is on that lowest string on the 2nd fret, and then we skip a string, so this one is open, and our pointer finger goes to the 1st fret, 2nd highest string, that E string. So that's what an F looks like. Remember? So for A, we just simply don't skip a string. It looks like that. Ooh, yeah, A. So just those 2 fingers in that simple position. I think we should go between A and G now. So let's get that position. Feel how it is in your fingers. If you want to take a moment and kind of go back to G, reform that. Remember what that feels like, and then see if your fingers, how they land in A. Got it. Maybe doing that exercise of trying to speed up the transition. Got it. All right, on A, let's do that same exercise. 1, 2, starting on A. Now you're gonna form the G. Heading on back to A. Now time for G. Moving on back to A. Time to form a G. I missed a beat, but I do want to pause because I'm noticing something as I'm playing this particular exercise and going between these chords, and this is the kind of associations you want to start thinking about when you're forming chords, is that my pointer finger going between A and G never has to leave this string, so I actually don't have to pick it up and reset it. When I go from G right here, and then I want to go to A, I just simply slide it up. And how much easier is that transition if I am not picking up my pointer finger and I'm just sliding it on that string, so I know it doesn't have to move. Let's do this one a couple more times. Starting on A. 1, 2, here we go. Heading back to G and going back to A and on G and last one on A. Great stuff. So those are the 4 chords that we are going to play in this song together. We have D, G, extra challenge G minor if you're up for it, and then A. But everyone should be working on D, G, and A for sure. If you're ready to add in that G minor to our song, then please do. It's going to add that extra beautiful kind of a spooky note. I love how minor chords give that sort of ooh feeling to music. So the song that we're going to be playing is Colors. One of our favorite songs, and certainly a song that's been uplifting me during this time. One of my favorite songs to dance to with all of you. So I have sent the music to you. If you could pull that up on an iPad, maybe print it out, whatever works best for you so that you can have the music in front of you and we can follow along to the chords. Sound good? Cool. So what I want to do is just play through the song. If you think you're ready and you know these chords, you can follow along in the song and play with me. And as always, raise your hand if you're going to make a mistake. I definitely will. Mistakes are totally fine. If you get off on the chords, really listen and see if you can play with me, and just take a pause, maybe rub out your fingers, shake it out, and jump right back in. Also, pause the video if you need to and go back a little bit, and you can start wherever you'd like to in the song. So let's do this. For the playing of this song, I want to work on a specific strum. It's a simple strum, and it sounds exactly right with this song. That is just simply playing on the 2 and the 4 beat of the measure. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's just a simple down strum. If you want to use a pick, you can. Make sure you're careful with ukuleles. Picks can be kind of hard, especially if you don't have a pick guard on your ukulele. I'm just using my hand. I'm just kind of down strumming. And another technique that I'm doing that you could challenge yourself for, you can certainly just let it ring, but I'm actually hitting the 1 and the 3 with my palm. It's a technique called palm mute. And so that gives us that extra little percussive sound. So let's just try that strum just on our D chord together. So wrap out those fingers, roll out the wrist, reminding my shoulder to calm down. Setting my fingers on that D, and we're just going to practice the strum pattern for our song. It goes like this. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if we can change to a G and keep the strum pattern going. You can already kind of hear how the song's in this. Let's switch to an A. Keep the strum pattern going. Awesome! So again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great stuff. All right, I think I'm ready to play this song. I'm going to do it at a pretty slow tempo so that everyone has a chance to play along with me. And then hopefully when we get back in the classroom one of these days, we can all jam and play this song together. I would love that. All right. And first step, just play along with me. We all know these words. See if you can play along to the song with me, and then again, like the G minor challenge, add that extra challenge for yourself of trying to sing along with it. Okay, here we go. Starting on D, have your music in front of you and just follow along. The chords tell you exactly when to change. 1, 2, here we go. You've been far away from me, another land across the sea. All this time my heart's been breaking, just waiting round and aching for a letter or a telegram, telling you how sweet I am. Swear your heart will never roam till you come back home. I'll wear your colors, my dear, until you're standing right here next to the one who adores you, whose heart is beating for you like a lighthouse guides a shipwrecked sailor safely from the sea. I'll wear your colors till you come back home to me. I'm hoping you return the glow. I'm just making sure you know that no matter how, no matter when you come back to me, you'll realize this love is strong, as it has been all along. For miles and miles can't come between the kind of love we've seen. I'll wear your colors, my dear, until you're standing standing right here next to the one who adores you, whose heart is beating for you like a lighthouse guides shipwrecked sailors safely from the sea. I'll wear your colors till you come back home to me. Okay, now we got the mouth trumpet. I'll wear your colors, my dear, until you're standing right here next to the one who adores you, whose heart is beating for you like a lighthouse guides a shipwrecked sailor safely from the sea. I'll wear your colors till you come back home to me. Here we go. I'll wear your colors, my dear, until you're standing right here next to the one who adores you, whose heart is beating for you like a lighthouse guides shipwrecked sailors safely from the sea. I'll wear your colors till you come back home to me. I'll wear your colors till you come back home to me. I'll wear your colors till you come back home to me. Great work. That was so much fun. I can't wait to play this song with you guys. Watch this video as many times as you want to work on this song, and feel free to let me know if you have any questions when we have morning or afternoon circle. I miss you all so much.